friends, last Friday I told you that we come to on Fridays we come to the pottery compound and we sort pottery. Here are some pieces that we found today. I want you to take a good look and tell me, and point to the ones on the screen you think might be helpful to an archaeologist. I'm going to give you a few seconds, take a look, point to ones that you think we would keep as archaeologists, and then point to ones you think we might throw away. Okay, well I have archaeologist Kate here who's going to talk to us about how some of these pieces help her to identify different pieces of pottery.
So, the pieces that you're looking at here, and I'm going to move over so we can see them, belong to a couple of different shapes. The first thing is this piece right here. You can see that it has a handle, and you can also see that it's made of a kind of reddish clay pottery. This piece is a part of a cooking pot. The whole form looks like this. This is what the whole shape of the cooking pot is. So you can see the piece that we broke off. When we find this in the field, we know that we're looking at a piece of a cooking pot. And as you can see, they would set this down on the fire and they would cook a stew or something in it. So it has two handles and it has a rim that sticks up off of the body of the pottery vessel. Another piece that's helpful is when we see a piece like this. This is a small bowl or a cup, and you can see that the rim curves in a little bit. And this piece belongs to a small cup or a bowl that looks like this. And I'm going to hold them right next to each other so you can see. This is one piece of a bowl just like this, with a rim that curves in. Another piece that's helpful, let's see, this one is very similar. This is another bowl with a rim that curves in, but this one, as you can see, is painted. Both this piece and this bowl have been painted with a red paint. Another way that we look at the pottery and decide what's useful is we look at the shape of the bottom of the bowl. So this piece here has a bottom that's shaped like a ring. So almost imagine if you take a bowl and you stack it on top of a circle or a ring. That's what this base has. So this is the same kind of bowl, and if I turn them up, you'll see that they have the same kind of bottom. And it's called a ring base. So this also is important because this helps us to tell that the bowl that I'm holding, this piece of this bowl, is a bowl with this incurved rim and a ring base. The last piece that's helpful from this collection is this piece right here. Now this is shaped more like a plate, and you can see it has a really thick rim, and it's kind of bumpy, it's kind of wavy on the outside. And I'm going to show you what this belongs to in just a second. This belongs to this very large, very large bowl. And if you look closely, you can see that the shape of the rim of this piece and of this bowl are the same. And if you look even more closely, you can see that the color of the clay from this piece and this bowl are the same, and that they have little specks in it that are the same as well. So when I find this in the field when we're digging, I know that I've picked up a piece of one of these very large bowls. So any piece that we find that helps us to decide what shape, what bowl this actually comes from, is what we call a useful, or diagnostic is the fancy word for it, piece. This is a diagnostic piece of pottery. These other body pieces are less helpful. Sometimes we can look at them and decide based on the color what pottery vessels they belong to. But mostly they're not as helpful because they belong to the middle of the shape, and that's harder to tell what it is. But when we have something that's a rim, when we have something that's a base, when we have something that has a color that's useful for us, that matches something that we know, these are the pieces that are diagnostic pieces.